another episode of The Man Space. My co-host, Coach Marson, and I are always excited to talk to men from around the world, hear their story, hear their challenges, and understand how they navigated their challenges and how they got to where they are today, and what is going to be the way we can best support them as they continue along the journey. And we want to always keep in mind, men are raised in an environment all over the world, not to talk about what they feel, not to talk about their fears, not to talk about their concerns, not to ask for advice, not to ask for help. And yet they need it just like every other human. And we're going to understand how our guest today has navigated that successfully, what challenges they faced. So Trevor Matthews, welcome to the Man Space.
Hi. Thank you.
So full disclosure, Trevor is my neighbor in Belize, and we have a home in Belize where we winter. And I have had the opportunity to observe and get to know Trevor over the years as my neighbor, but also my dear friend and neighbor's son. And what I have observed is, Trevor, you have a daughter who has some health challenges, and you have been a very diligent, dedicated dad in making sure she feels supported, she is happy, and she gets every opportunity. And just recently, there was a major medical situation you all had to deal with. And
Yes.
You made some choices putting her first. So I want to kick this off with you talking about your life, your daughter's health, and how some of those challenges has shaped you as you pursue your entrepreneurial journey and be the human that you were meant to be.
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah, well, first starting out, I was working right now in the tourism business. Was doing transfer back and forth, airport transfers and stuff like that, back and forth. And when her medical came up, it was a little bit of a challenge in between. We had to share the time, with my wife being with her for about 3 months, because the overall amount of months was supposed to be between 6 to 8 months. But she could have only do the summer because she's a principal. So she went. They left out in May and went through went through part of the surgery in getting. She got the fixator for the straightening of her bone, which is something we call in Belize bend. What do you call, like, what do you say? We have like a bend foot or bow foot. But they have a name for it, which is they call it the blunt disease. So she had to get a medical fixator to straighten the bone. So she went through that surgery, which was successful, and then it was therapy from there forth. My wife went up. Well, like I said, they went up in May. They did the surgery first week in June, and then it was the therapy process in healing back, getting healed. And then we switched out in August, where I went up on the 14th, and then it was a process between me and my daughter, which was good because then I got to learn a lot about her more, being the togethership that we had, and working with her was a lot. But as I got through with it, I just took it on as something that it's an experience, one, and two, the togethership you know, and just making her as comfortable as possible because it was hard with the adjustment in Dallas.
Oh, so thank you, Travis, for sharing, what have transpired in your life in between, your wife and you and your daughter, everything that has happened. I am very happy to hear that, the successful surgery was done. How is her therapy going right now?
Right now, pretty well. She she hasn't had any pain or anything in a sense. Right now it's just actually just for the walking itself. Because one of her one the on the one part of her foot, she still needs to keep that foot straight so that she has that balance, right?
Hmm.
Because her part of the surgery was her hip was up and down,
Mm.
so she limped on one side really when she walked. But now since they straighten it, now she has it like this. But no the her feet on this side now it's just where she has to straighten up and try to keep it this way instead of doing this. You see? So
Yeah,
but it's going well. It's going well. She's moving around. You know, no kind of interference in a sense. Although she still has two pins in that other leg.
Mm.
so you both went through this. She is a pre-teenager, a
Yeah.
dad, and a therapy and recovery is a little tricky. And there are certain moments for certain things the daughter wants the mother. You're in a foreign country, you're not working, you're dedicating everything to her and spending time with her and children her age. How was that experience? And what did you learn about your ability to cope and deal with challenges? Because it didn't come easy.
Oh no, it wasn't easy. But one thing I know about myself, I would say easily to adapt. It was a lot for me because down here I moved about. I was independent in doing a lot of other stuff. But then out there, you know, I had to adapt to the situation itself. And with that, but most of all, I had in the mind that as long as my daughter is happy and she's comfortable, you know, it shouldn't be nothing hard. You know, when we were in Dallas, we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House, and everything was there. Gym, they had the teen room, they had the dining area, the center outside area. But the only thing, it's like it's just this big gated place, and coming out, that's where you I'm not already used to getting in my vehicle, and out there was you gotta walk, move to get, and it's not everything was a little bit of a distance, but we adapt. I said like I adapted to everything in the sense where my daughter she couldn't move as much because of the fixator on her feet. So we made use of the wheelchair. So I just pushed her around. I just pushed her around when you went to either do like little grocery shopping or to get out and like that, right? So I like had to make use of the wheelchair and stuff. But for her it was like a little adventure. I turned it into a little adventure so that she would be comfortable in the sense that okay, you know, it's fun.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a really good post experience with the therapy and everything. But as a father myself, right, and your daughter, and when we have our children, our sons or the daughters, and when they go through, life happens, right? And
Yep.
sometimes, that surgery is required for certain things, some medical defects or whatever it is. And for us, for parents, especially you know, being there just with your daughter, not your wife being there with you, you know, it takes a lot of toll, right? It takes a lot of emotions to see your daughter, your princess, right, going
Mm.
through this therapy, you know, seeing her in a wheelchair, trying to adapt to this new, just new lifestyle right now, right? Because she has been, you know, healed, right? And just trying to learn how to walk again, and being there as a father to support your little princess, you know, to get back on her feet. Like, what was going through your mind, you know, throughout the whole transformation period?
Well, going through my mind was like just hoping that everything would go well, in the sense of when it comes to the surgery part, right? And with her, it was a little bit. With her, it was very easy, and I was surprised. She's really amazing in the sense that she doesn't. Well, she had a goal in trying to get well,
Mm,
and between me and her, we sat down, we talked, and she was like, "Daddy, I'm not going to stay here the whole 8 months. I want to get better, and we will work." And that's how every day we set little challenges. So like, um, today we would say, all right, she would do like with her walking and stuff, and like that she tried not to use the walker, or she less of the wheelchair, you know, and everything we turned it into like an adventure,
mm,
so with her it was very, for me, I had to just be strong for her,
mm.
but her, she was like strong all by herself. Yeah, she was strong all by herself. But I was happy that with everything she pulled through on her end, and with my help and stuff, we pulled through together.
Mhm. Now that you're back in Belize, she is back in school, you're back at work, right?
Yeah.
You're getting back to the normal routine of life. How does that feel? Because you were away, you were at Ronald McDonald House, you went through this journey. Now, when you're back here and you're rebuilding because you were away for a while,
Yeah.
how does that feel? And what are some of the challenges you faced?
Well, for right now, everything is like I'm starting from scratch.
Mhm.
And in that sense, I just keep an open mind on everything, in a sense that, you know, whatever jobs are like that, I just, if it's out there and it need to be done, I take it on. Um, right now, the market itself is a little bit slow, so I jump around in the sense that, I could be like tomorrow, I could be at the car wash. The following day, I'm at the mechanic shop. Maybe a detail come up to do, so I'll jump into that. It's just the adjusting is not, how I say, the adjusting is not that hard for me, but it's just looking out really, and how I say, doing what I usually do best. Just
Mm.
step on out into it.
Uh, No, that's a really good mindset to have, right? Have an open mind, you know, especially, well, like I said, you've been months away from home. Now you're coming back where, hey, I don't even have a job. Where do I even begin? How do I start? And
Hmm.
there are many men that do lose their jobs, that go through divorces, and they are in very similar situations as you. Hey, now where do I even begin? How do I move on? Right? So
Hmm.
many men that, you know, have lost their families. You know, I was one of them. That we lose your children, your home, yourself. What would your advice be to a person like me in that situation?
Well, for some, like, well, in something like that, you just gotta have a strong mind in the sense that you keep open mind to whatever is happening. It's a day by day process. You know, you can't look at it and say, oh, it's the end. You gotta always say tomorrow is another day. Something will come up, something will happen. You know, from since I came back, you know, I haven't sat down at all. I've been out there. I get to different places and stuff and like that. And any little thing that comes up, just to keep my mind occupied and like and stuff, I get into it. Like right now, the car wash. One of my buddy owns. Well, I could say one of my buddy owns a car wash, and they had a little. He had some trouble with his workers and stuff. Well, no, not really trouble, but they had a little situation, and his workers had to go on holiday, take off some days off for him, and the same thing. I fit in. I was washing vehicles, doing the whole 9 yards. Doing inside cleaning. It's the same. It's the same thing. That I'm used to. Well, with the detailing that I do, because I do custom detailing for vehicles and stuff. So you know, I adjusted and got back into that. And you know, like for anybody out there who is in the situation, you know, you can't just sit back in it. You just can't sit back and say, well, oh, what will happen or what should I do? You gotta get out there. You know, you gotta open mind in anything that comes up, push into it, you know, try.
Mhm.
You know,
I love your attitude and your message there, Trevor. You look like a young version of Michael Jordan, and your whole message is like Nike, just do it. Right?
Yes.
So the alignment is serendipitous. And the fact that you are able to jump in and do, and the way you went through this whole process, Ronald McDonald House recognized the way you and your daughter went through this supportive process, how quickly she recovered. Her recovery was way ahead of the medical anticipation. And as a result, they actually have created promos, made you both the poster children of parent and daughter of their advertising campaign. You're all over Ronald McDonald House. Talk a little bit about how that felt coming through this difficult journey, but with optimism. Coming from the third world, you already have the ability of being resilient, and I can figure this out because life doesn't get handed to you on a silver platter like in the West, right? But how did that feel when you were invited to be the poster father and daughter and be representative of what that ideal system looks like as a family?
well, it was like her say what do you say, like a relief, not really like a relief, but like a goal being completed,
Mm.
in the sense that honestly, when they told me about the picture and stuff, I wasn't thinking a big wow poster and stuff like that. I was just thinking a little picture on a display and like that. And the day the day we weren't even going to the train the display. Another family invited us, and when we got there in the mall and stuff, and I was looking around, and when we got in the corridor, and we were like the first pick in the corridor as you step in, going towards the display, and I was like, whoa, okay. And you know, it was like a big relief of like, yo, okay, you did it. It wasn't something you expected, but it's like, okay, it's a goal done.
Yeah, there
You
was
know?
a big moment and a huge achievement. But from as I'm listening to your story, is like Dr. Cass says, your optimism, your open mind, your positive energy, right? You and your daughter had daily goals, right? You talked about, hey, this is what we want to accomplish today. This is what will get done, right? And she saw herself that, you know what, hey, the whole therapy will not last 8 months. We'll be able to do it in 5 months or so on.
Yes, yeah.
And it's possible out there, right? Where you have the right mindset, then it can be done. Nothing in life is impossible, no matter what we go through in life. What would you say, like, or advise, or to the parents that right now, as we know, St. Jude Children's Hospital here in United States, there are many children that are dying of cancer, that are dying of different diseases. And I support St. Jude Children's Hospital. There are many parents. And, it's one of my goals is to go there, donate $10,000 check. And I hear stories, and my goal is to talk to those parents as well. You know what would you say, to that parent that, hey, their son, their daughter has a couple months of life left? What would your message be to that parent?
My message would be, when it comes to your child, make the best of every time you have with them. Like I did it when we were over there, right? I was doing crafting with my daughter. Any little event that we had at the house, I participated in it, and I gave the support to her. Like I went from coloring books. We colored together. We did painting. We, like for the Halloween, she had her costume. I went with her to pick out to help her with her costume and stuff. And the little hair stuff and things she wanted to do, I helped her out with it. The time spent was really, really has a worth every bit. Being there, just seeing her smile and that brightness over her face, that, wow, okay, I have my dad here and he's doing it with me, and like that. Even looking up on stuff, like I knew, for the bone growth, we had to, well, she was drinking milk and stuff. I went on the milk with her. I had it in the morning. In the afternoon, we would have a little cartoon. In the evening, in the evening we eat. I go to the gym. Coming down from the gym, I pick up a 2 little cartoon of milk and I take it to the room, and that would be our little drink for the night. And I went on it as well. Something that for me, milk is not a pull through like that, but I adjusted to it. Yeah, I adjusted to it, and
so that is such a powerful message to parents and for anybody in life. Live in the moment, and make every moment count, because the moment is all we have. Worried about what happened or worried about what's going to happen prevents us from living in the moment. And that is truly a gift that we in developing countries have, because we have to live for the moment, right? Life forces you to live in the moment. So you've mastered that well.
Oh, yeah.
And because you have mastered that well, you were able to guide your daughter through that process. And she is a daughter of 2 strong people, right? Both her mom and her dad are very strong, goal-oriented people. And so she has grown around it. So she's embodying that same resiliency and goal orientation. What was your proudest moment as a dad as you went through this with her, before, during, and after?
Proudest. Oh, when we were in the hospital, we had two visits, to the doctor visits. We had on November, well, during the time of the November 15 and the December 6. That was after the October, because every ending of the month we had a doctor visit just to see her progress. And when we had the November 15th visit, the doctor was amazed. And so when she asked me like, or he said, what did you do? Or like, how did you get her to, get this far and this quick? And the little and stuff, even the therapy, the therapy that we did, even every time in the therapy, the ladies would ask me like, how did you get her to do, like, to walk and to move like she's walking like there's nothing on her foot, and like that, right? And I tell him, I said, it's just a mindset, in the sense that she has to know. Some of them, it was fun getting her doing it because I wouldn't tell her. I was like either mess with her and have her chase me, and she would up and forget. And then she looks at me like, Dad, look what I did. And then I look at her and said, see, once you have faith in your foot, it will work for you. The step in her step process and stuff, in climbing the steps and like that, was one of the hardest that she had. And I got her doing it like within like one morning.
Mm.
We were going for breakfast, and I took her up to the stairs, and she was like, Dad, I can't do it. I was like, yes, you can. She fell. I caught her right in the moment. I caught her, right, and she looked at me and she was like, okay, I have to have faith in this. And I thought she wouldn't have done it again after that little fall, but I got her. But when we came back out from breakfast, she went back to the stairs again, and she was like, Dad, I'm gonna do it. And she did it. And she did it. I was like, okay, the eagerness and energy that she showed me, I was like, yo, that was one of my proudest moments. Being there, seeing it, and watching her going through that whole process.
That is so powerful, because as a father, and as we know, yeah, the kids are resilient, but
Mm.
not only being a father, but you were her coach, you were her mentor, you were her accountability partner. That, what, hey, you guided her, hey, you pushed her a little bit, right? You
Yeah.
knew that she had it in her. And
Mm.
with just a little making it fun as a game, as a challenge, that you showed her that, hey, it is possible, right? Yeah, you tried, you fall, and like, okay, hey, you caught her. What did she do? She got back up and she tried again.
Mm.
And she did it. So I really do applaud you, for being such a phenomenal human being and a father to your daughter. You know what? Because you are amazing. So I can tell, your attitude, your energy is just, I love surrounding myself people like you, and just hearing your story, because, they are truly inspirational, because not many people know what other people go through in their life. And despite all the setbacks, things that happen in life, you still have a smile on your face. You have a good positive attitude. You have an open mindset, and you're just living a life that you're happy. So thank you for that.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Being here, because like even being here and stuff like that, I just tried, like I said, I was just try to keep positive. Um, I could not, like right now, it's not really having a job in a sense, but I still get through. You know, I still get into different little work and stuff, and I just say, you know what, every little penny counts.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Trevor, for making the time to have this conversation. And for
Sure.
all the dads out there, don't ever forget that you are your daughter's first love. Every
Oh,
father is their daughter's first love. and they look up to you, they idealize you, they adore you. And when you show up for them and you are there to catch them, you give them the power to rise up and be the most powerful child that they can be. So dads, go out there and lift up your daughters and celebrate them. And your positive attitude is going to be contagious, and your daughters are going to shine, and your sons are going to thrive.